We've been riding mountain bikes non-stop for 2 weeks, but the real question is, will my son ever want to ride with me again after this? We're in the home stretch of a 2-week father-son road trip, and in those 2 weeks, my son Teegan went from absolute beginner status to legit mountain biker. We made it past the struggles of starting out, and now it's time to enjoy the fruits of our labor, and a few chairlifts too. We left off in the last episode at Eric Porter's spot, where we had some epic rides at Woodward Park City and the surrounding area, and now we're heading north to Idaho. Since Teegan has chairlifts figured out, we're heading directly to another bike park, Tamarack. Tamarack was quiet on the weekday that we visited, which meant that we got plenty of time to rip laps and max out our time on 2 wheels. This chairlift has quite the view too, and even the basic trails have little elements like this that are worth exploring.
Tamarack had the goods. So many good trails, so fun, flowy. You conquered the blue one like it was nothing. It was the perfect place to progress. This place is all time and we definitely need to come back. But for now, let's head over to Boise. I got a surprise for you.
After our session at Tamarack, we drove back down toward Boise, just in time to catch our friends at Deity before they closed up shop for the day.
This is the headquarters of Deity Components. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that pretty much every single bike I ride has something from Deity on it. And while I'm not officially sponsored by them, these guys are family, and I couldn't be more stoked to see their success.
How you doing, buddy? It's so good to see you.
Hey,
What's up, man? I'm Eric.
So we're gonna have a quick look inside the Deity compound. Maybe get Teegan's bike built up with a couple extra parts. But how sick is this spot? Can we go over to check out the warehouse?
Most definitely.
We got a bike that needs a little bit of Deity love.
I would suggest that we put some flat track pedals on it. There'll be a larger platform for more stability for his feet, and they won't be so concave like a Super Villain or a Team Max, so you'll be able to adjust his feet a little bit better.
Okay.
Potentially try out some different grips. I can even give you guys a couple different pairs.
Okay.
You can take them, swap them out. Because just grips can change. Contact points are massive. The grips themselves can change the feel of the bike. And then obviously playing around with bar rise, stem length. All right.
It's like Christmas in here. Look at this place. Dude.
Bars.
Do you ever get lost in here?
Hey, I'm not back here boxing and shipping, so honestly, I have to think about where everything is at. So bear with me. This is a bronze bar. We'll hold it up to the bike, but we can also put copperhead and bronze on there.
That's gonna look cool. That'll look really cool with the brown.
Could look dope.
Yeah.
But like when I'm talking about detail, it's like all that two-tone nano.
Yeah.
That's all part of the metal and the process. That's not a graphic or a sticker applied to it. So all of the levels of everything that's on here, it's just so much more than you're gonna find on another handlebar. I mean, there's 7 steps in the manufacturing. It's just the look of it, let alone the internal and the engineering of it. So putting as much as we can on a product to make something that feels absolutely special and amazing.
Look at this. Flat track pedals. That's gonna look so good on that bike.
Big, non-offset, so symmetrical pedal profile, big footprint. They're gonna feel totally different than these pedals. And I love the black cap, but this is gonna feel pretty phenomenal for them. So this is the newest grip, and that's the MegaTac. Feel that? You haven't felt this one.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's all preference. This is the Super Cush.
Yeah, of course.
This guy will be 2 millimeters smaller than this. Mm-hmm. And you probably are gonna love that.
That's my favorite grip right there. I have that on every single bike.
Which is like amazing because it's 34 mil OD, and you would think that your hands, you got pretty big hands though too, especially for your height. No offense to your height, but you got big hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Super Cush, I mean, that's the MegaTac. Does it feel good?
Yeah, kind of good.
It's people are loving it. You would think that this is like if Ben Cathro was testing it and helping with the design of it, and he's 6'7", and it's his dream grip. So I thought this was like a 6 foot to 6'7", 6'11" type of a grip. But man, we've got people who are 5'5" that it's like their new favorite grip. I mean, it just feels different. Seamless transitions, so you don't have hot spots that you build on the palm of your hand or on your fingertips. Recessed half waffle, so it's not serrating your hand like a typical moto style grip that has a half waffle. Ribbing that doesn't just collapse under your fingers, but the thing is, and lose is like structure, but the thing is, it allows a little bit of compression on the side, so it's not like can opening your thumb.
Yeah.
So it's anatomically like structured to function properly with a hand. So it's a bit chaotic here, but what's cool about it is that, and we just get a chance to come in here and just create really dope imagery. I thought when we built this, I dreamt to have a photo studio.
Yeah.
So that we can just create all of our own stuff, never have to farm anything out. And I can think of the most ridiculous ideas and we can just come in here and just create it.
There is one universal truth in the sport of mountain biking, and that is getting new parts for your bike makes everything better. A giant thank you to Eric, Sadie, and the whole crew at Deity for taking such good care of us. In addition to the new Deity gear, we also got our last package from Jensen USA, a set of Continental tires to take on the loamy goodness of the Northwest trails ahead of us. We paired these tires with Orange Seal to make them tubeless, which was easy enough for Teegan to install. Hit the link in the description if you want a closer look at the specific tires we chose. Most important, we had to test out all of our new gear before continuing the journey. We had a quick session at Eagle Bike Park to dial everything in. The spot's right downtown and super fun to ride. I just wish we had more time here, but we had to keep it moving.
Everywhere we've ridden's had like such different terrain, which kind of makes this whole thing cool. Like every ride, it's like desert, alpine, Moab rocks. So sick.
The last stop on our way out of town was at Ian Hyland's photo gallery opening at the Push and Pour. Ian is an old friend and a legendary mountain bike photographer. I was actually there when this shot of Eric Porter was taken almost 20 years ago. Now, you'd be wrong if you thought this trip was going to continue the same way. One major thing changed dramatically as soon as we crossed the border into Oregon and arrived at Mount Bachelor for our final ride of our summer road trip.
What a difference a day can make. Yesterday it was dry, dusty, and hot, and now we've got snow. We're at Mount Bachelor, another location on the Lone Pass Network, and we're gonna ride finally in the state of Oregon. We're nearly home.
After a little parking lot jam and a quick swipe of our Lone Pass, we were above the snow line on a chairlift. We've been riding in boiling hot conditions this whole trip, but for some reason, Oregon didn't get the memo. We accidentally took the big lift up to the top for more advanced trails, but had no problem cruising down them to the other zone that was easier to lap. Teegan put together all of his skills from the trip on this ride, including stomping this drop with full confidence. This trip has been full of firsts, but we also had to squeeze in a last. The last blockbuster on Earth, which is right down the street from Mount Bachelor. How random is this spot? They're somehow keeping the dream alive for video rentals, although I didn't manage to find any bike videos in their selection. As we cruised down the final stretch to the end of our trip, I wondered if Teegan would ride with me again after this. In 2 weeks, we've pushed through thousands of miles on the road and thousands of feet of climbing and descending on the bike. I honestly don't know who learned more on this road trip, but I do know that I wouldn't trade the ups and downs of these past few weeks for anything. Being able to share what you love with someone you love is an incredible feeling, and I have to say a huge thank you to Teegan for being open to the idea of taking on such a huge trip. It was fun to travel together and watch him learn so many things, both on and off the bike. So would I do it again? Absolutely, but I'd probably focus on the riding in a few specific spots instead of adding in the punishing full-day drives between the spots. If we just focused in on Bentonville or a bike park for the same amount of time, I wonder what difference that would have made. But the million-dollar question, did Teegan ride with me after the road trip wrapped up? The answer is yes. We hit up Gateway Green in Portland for another pump track session this summer, and with any luck, we'll be back on the trails together again soon. While 2 weeks wasn't nearly enough time to get him totally into the sport, I do think it was enough to show him what the sport is all about and equip him with the confidence that he can join me on future rides anytime he wants. A giant thank you to everyone who supported us on this road trip. Jensen USA, Lone Pass, and Marin Bikes helped us out big time, and our friends along the way made all the difference. Thank you for watching this road trip series. I hope you enjoyed sharing this journey along with us.